question for y'all, especially now that we have Derek Holland here, and we could expand this out any number of directions. But I was reading in a column in the Dallas Morning News, I believe it was yesterday, maybe the day before. The Rangers should trade for Shohei Ohtani. And the idea being, look, I get it. That's a big swing. Just and a big throw, too.
What, that Shohei had the big swing?
Yes, and the big throw. Okay. Is maybe that could knock out all kinds of your problems simultaneously. They mentioned in the presser on Monday, and we talked with Bochy about adding another bat. Everybody in the universe knows that the Rangers need pitching. What do you think about this bold move, knowing that it would wipe out your farm system too? But you might get the best player in baseball.
I'll answer first because I have no repercussions for my answers.
I don't either.
I think this would be one of the stupidest things that they could possibly do. And here's why. The only way it's a smart move, Ranger fans, and I'm not saying I don't want Shohei Ohtani. That would be amazing. It would have to be almost in a weird way, NBA-like a sign and trade. He has 1 year left. Why is he leaving the Angels? He loves L.A. He doesn't hate L.A. He loves it. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if after this season coming up is over that he's an L.A. Dodger. I think that's a strong possibility in his career. But if he is leaving the Angels, you need to read why he's leaving the Angels, because he wants to play for a contender. The Rangers had the 6th or 7th worst record in baseball. So you would trade for him. If the Rangers don't make the playoffs next year, what convinces Shohei Ohtani, who probably wants to be on a West Coast team for the most part, to stay in Texas if they don't make the playoffs? The reason he's leaving the Angels isn't because he hates the Angels. He's leaving because they don't contend and make the playoffs. So if you do this and you trade, let's just say 5 premium prospects, I do think you're looking at something like Jack Leiter, Owen White, Josh Young, Ezekiel Duran, and somebody else who's really good. Leody Taveras. I'm just throwing out those 5 people starts the conversation of we can now get this done.
The article from the Dallas Morning News said you start with, again, this is just a hypothetical, Jack Leiter, Owen White, Justin Foscue, and Brock Porter. And that was then from there, so
I wasn't off by a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And then from there, to your point, you consider 1 or 2 from the group of Ezekiel Duran, Josh Smith, Glenn Otto, and one other person who I'm forgetting offhand.
And so if you do this, look, I would be excited Ohtani's here, but I think it would be really dumb unless when you trade for him, and I'm going to get this because I don't know, we've never had the market on a premium hitter and premium pitcher being in one human being on the marketplace. So we're not exactly sure what he's going to get, how long he's going to get. I think you have to offer him at that point before you make the trade. Will you sign an 8-year, I'm going to guess $320 million deal? And if he says 8 years, $400 million, you just have to say yes.
Okay, let me ask all of y'all this then. And again, we're like going really far, but I want to see how logical it would be there. If you knew that came as part of the deal, like that he would agree to your, let's say 8 for 400 or whatever it is, does that change at all? Or are you still like, you're still a whole lot of ways away?
I don't think you're a whole lot of ways away. I think that helps having him too. But personally, like, I'm not trying to avoid this question, but I just think I agree with Bassick. I think it's a dumb move. You could spend more money on other pieces. Shohei is amazing. I definitely, trust me, I'm right there with Mike. I'd love to see him in a Rangers uniform, see him here and doing some great things. But at the same time, he wants to be with a contender. I see him staying, like Mike said, on the West Coast. My teams, though, of choice would be the Padres, which they continue to keep surprising us. I mean, they went out and got Juan Soto. So I feel like they're going to try to make a couple trades to get him over there with them, or Seattle is the other topic or hot team, too, to pick, because they're contenders. Those teams are 2 contenders. I don't see the Dodgers getting Shohei, even though, I mean, that is a West Coast team and they contend every single year. But at some point, they continuously go to the playoffs and then they lose it. So I don't know.
And I think I'm going to reiterate what we're saying to the people that I'm looking at on the Twitch chat. We would all love Shohei Ohtani. Do you understand this? If you trade for him and he does not sign an extension, he's a free agent. It's not like you can match what he gets. If he wants to go to Seattle or San Diego or LA or New York, I don't think he's a New York guy. I don't think that's where he'd want to go. I think he'd want to go back to the West Coast and to a championship contending team. if you trade 5 to 7 premium prospects for 1 year of Shohei Ohtani, when let's face it, as much as I love Bruce Bochy, I love that hire, the likelihood of the Rangers going from a 100-loss team almost again, what did they go, 95, 68 and 90 something?
Yeah, 94.
Yeah. To go from 68 to 88 wins is almost impossible to do. It can happen, but it's really tough to do. Okay, let's just say they get to 82 wins and 80 losses, don't make the playoffs. What's the motivation for Shohei Ohtani to choose here if the Padres, if the Mariners, if the Dodgers are all offering him $40 to $50 million a year and they all made the playoffs?
Think about this too. You just said he wants to go to a team that's going to contend. He's not going to sign, get traded and sign right away. He wants to see what the Rangers are going to do. Anybody is going to do that. So you might get him in the trade and everything, and then all of a sudden he realizes you guys don't do anything to make the team that much better besides get him. Then you just rented a player for this year, lost all your top prospects that are ready to come up just for a guy that's going to end up leaving and then stay in the division probably by going to, like I said, I think Seattle, or if he goes to San Diego. And the other thing that hurts too, which this stupid schedule change, this would have worked out for him too because he'd still be playing a lot of his games on the West Coast because of the division. But since that's cut back, that also changes too. So he's definitely going to want that West Coast. But I want to change this real quick to what we could do instead of trading for him is go get some pitching, get Carlos Rodon, a Sonny Gray, get Martin Perez back, or get a Jose Quintana. You also got Michael Wacha and Noah Syndergaard. Those are guys that I think they're not going to cost as much. You're going to be able to get multiple of those guys. Maybe Rodon's going to be the most expensive piece out of all of them. But you're going to be able to get multiple pitchers to help because that's something we lack is pitching.
How useful, one of those names especially stands out. How useful is Noah Syndergaard?
I wonder if things are going to change here.
Yes, this is my big thought here,
so
too.
I have asked about Noah Syndergaard for 3 years, and the Rangers have said completely and absolutely no every time I've brought up his name. They are not a fan of Noah Syndergaard. Now, John Daniels isn't here anymore. I don't know if it was from John Daniels. Now, Kip Fagg is still here. There's other people in the organization that have opinions and thoughts that matter in this organization. But now that it is run by Chris Young, maybe the thought of Noah Syndergaard has changed a little bit. And so I do love Carlos Rodon. I think that could be a very good piece. Rodon. I do think that could be a very good piece. He's a big-time strikeout pitcher from the left side. He's very different from Martin Perez. Like I said, I don't want 5 guys that look exactly the same with a different number. I think that's a stupid way to put together a rotation. People don't understand that are analytic people because they say, hey, and I get it. Look, if you have 5 Nolan Ryans, you have 5 Nolan Ryans. But if I have 5 Noah Syndergaards, Noah Syndergaard isn't going to look that good anymore. I need a Derek Holland with him. I need a Martin Perez with him. I'm not, Dane Dunning's on that fence of being a starting pitcher or not, but I need maybe a sinker ball pitcher to go with a guy like Noah Syndergaard. I need a variance of good pitchers, but I don't need 5 of the exact same guys. And I would rather do this with Shohei Ohtani. Real quick, back to him, because I think I love where you're going with other free agents. Let Ohtani play 1 more year with the Angels, because I don't think they're trading him because of this. Because the owner is going to sell the team, and he wants Ohtani on the books when he's selling that team. He wants the owner to buy that team with the right or ability to have Ohtani in the organization.
Okay.
Why not do this? Instead of trading 6 premium guys for 1 year when you're not ready to win a championship, why not go, hey, if your offer's 8 for $350, wouldn't we rather give him 10 for $500 and not give up any prospects? If we have all the money in the world, if Ray Davis is saying, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win, and I'm not saying it's a smart idea, but now I gave up. I still have Jack Leiter. I still have Owen White. I still have Kumar Rocker. I still have Josh Young. I still have all my guys. And I gave him an extra, let's say $50 million or $100 million over a 10-year period. Now I'm just adding an extra $5 million per year. You can always defer a little bit of money. That happens a lot in big-time contracts where it's really paid out over 20 years rather than paid out over 10 years. You can do stuff like that. But I want to go back to your great free agent list. But I'm just thinking, if you really want Ohtani, Ranger fans, can you wait 1 year and just way overpay him and not give up any of your prospects?
You might not even have to wait. That's the thing. If we go out and get guys like this, if we go out and just get 2 of these guys, if you get a Rodon and I think either a Gray or a Wacha, you need a righty lefty, maybe even a Martin Perez as well. You get one of those, that's showing Shohei, hey, we're content. We want to win. We're going to get some pieces. And then you get like a couple other pieces that we need. I feel like a guy to go get that is going to be tremendous for this clubhouse with playing with him and everything, Anthony Rizzo. If we could get him, I don't know if that takes away. I know Lowe was playing first base. He had a great year too.
He could go to DH though.
But that's the thing. I think you need to add one more piece into that infield to help out defensively and also a bat too.
How well do you know Rizzo? Because I do know an issue with the Texas Rangers right now is a little bit of that spark plug fire guy. They're missing the Michael Young. They're missing the Ian Kinsler. They're missing a guy who will stand up in that clubhouse and say, this isn't right and it's not happening
He's
anymore.
1,000% that guy. I know him very well. Playing with him as well, I got to see it. He is a leader of that clubhouse. He's going to help guys whether be super serious or kind of loosen it up. He's going to be that guy. He is somebody that you would like to have in your clubhouse. I just think we got to go get some other pieces. And like you said, why not wait, whether it's the trade deadline or after the season, to show if we're trying to get Shohei to come here, show him that we've got these pieces. Show him that we're going to contend. This could be, you get a couple guys, who knows, we might get into the playoffs. Now he sees that, oh man, this team's a really good contender. They're still close to the West Coast. They play their games over there. I like this. I want to go where they're going to win.
And Kevin, as you know, Texas is the California of the South. So
is that
the
a
West
thing
Coast
that
of the
people
South.
say?
Yeah, no. So if you can just pitch that to them. This is the West Coast of the South. If you want to stick around here, I like all these options that he's adding here, though.
Right.
Well,
I've
I
even
like
got
Rizzo a
position.
lot. I've always loved this.
I
guy.
feel like Martin
Rizzo's-
Perez is important in this because you said you bring back Martin Perez and then go get Rodon. Okay,
They're not similar though.
No.
That's the best part.
No,
That's what Mike was saying. We don't
agree
want
with you,
similarity.
but that's only one, and it still feels like that's why you need to keep Martin Perez, because if you lose Martin Perez and bring in Rodon, all of a sudden we're back at pitching even because Martin Perez was great for you this
The
last
only
year.
fear that I have is with we don't know who Bochy's staff is going to be. And right now, Martin is very comfortable with Doug Mathis as the pitching coach. They've got a strong relationship. They've got him going in the right direction. You saw how he pitched this year. So we need to have that reciprocated again this year. He has to do that again. And you go get a guy like Carlos who's going to also motivate him too. Carlos is an unbelievable teammate when it comes to the pitching side of things.
Okay, good. The other thing too with Martin Perez, and I know you're buddies with him, is from what I've understood, he's not taking a Rangers discount whatsoever.
No.
If he's offered, let's just say 3 years, $45 million by the Yankees and 3 years and $40 million by the Rangers, he's going to the Yankees. I'm not saying that's where he wants to go. I'm just saying you're going to have to win the bidding on Martin Perez. He did enough for the first time in his career. He's made good money, but he hasn't made $100 million. So if somebody's going to offer him $55 million and you're only willing to go to $45 million, he's going to go take the $55 million. He's not going to take a few more $1 million less just to be a Texas Ranger. So I want Martin Perez back. I've changed my mind completely on Martin Perez. I was not a fan of his at all. His first time through with the Texas Rangers. There are moments that I really liked, but I didn't like his lack of focus. This year, unbelievably great pitcher and a great leader in the clubhouse of the pitching staff. It's very tough, Derek. I know we're out of time. But to be a leader of a team from a pitcher's standpoint, right? Because when you're not a position player, you can lead, but it's very tough when you're just a pitcher.